Hello, good people. I am Crystal Keys, and welcome to Workplace Keys to Success, a channel that brings you an unfiltered, no-nonsense approach to surviving workplace bullying. Continued and frequent workplace bullying leads to excessive absenteeism, decreased morale, and job dissatisfaction. The failure or success of an organization is connected to how management engages and entreats their employees. Today we're going to talk about employee morale and workplace bullying. Before we proceed, I want to remind you to subscribe and like and to share your experience below. Kindly share your successful strategies. Let's help others overcome workplace bullying. The most important asset and resource within an organization are the people, the employees. The presence of a healthy employee management engagement presents effective performance and productivity, along with employee satisfaction. So we're going to take a look at the meaning of morale. Morale is a mindset involving feelings and emotions. Employee morale involves the attitude, the perception of the employee towards their job, their work, the environment, the team members, managers, and the organization as a whole. Climate and morale include the feelings about work conditions, motivation, general atmosphere, and organizational character. So what's the reason for low morale? Well, there are multiple reasons for employee low morale, organizational low morale, including workplace bullying. Other reasons for low employee morale include no stability, no pay equity, no available upward promotion or mobility, no specification of job expectations, no structured and defined leadership roles, no flexible work schedules, no recognition or appreciation, no job security, no flexible work arrangements, no accountability, no responsibility, no empowerment or freedom and discretion. So what do we do about it? What do we do about low employee morale? Well, in terms of workplace bullying, low and non-performers, the leader needs to engage, empathize, empower, and address. Again, engage, empathize, empower, and address. So let's take a look at the first one, engage. The promotion of an organizational culture of engagement can be successful with employees' involvement in work groups that help set organizational goals, contributing to an organizational culture where employee goals can become a part of the organizational commitment. Engaged employees are inclined to commit. When engagement interactions are authentic, individuals feel more committed. Leaders who are engaging and culturally sensitive shift organizations toward a progressively inclusive culture. Inclusive leadership positively influences employee performance due to a fostered environment of employee respect, value, appreciation of the diversities in the workplace. Very rarely do you see high workplace bullying accounts and high diversity and inclusion experiences. I'm going to say that again because it's worth repeating. Very rarely do you see high workplace bullying accounts and high diversity and inclusion experiences. Those two usually don't walk hand in hand. Either one is high and one is low, or one is low and one is high. Effective performance discussion and reviews are also vital to manager-employee engagement. There are multiple things that can help foster and create engagement, which is what is needed. Engagement can significantly improve an organization and an employee's performance by bringing employee progression into perspective. Okay, the second one was empathize. An organization that cares about its employees are more likely to foster a culture of diversity and inclusion instead of organizational structure barriers. You can only care when you empathize. Valued relationships regard empathy, indirectly relating to the culture of others. Now, Western societies focus undividedly on an individual, while the Eastern societies empathize with an inclusive outlook, focusing on an individual, a work group, and a social context. We want to be employed at organizations that promote inclusive cultural empathy, have successful global leadership, determined leaders with the ability to negate self-absorbance and belief, and effectively encourage other cultures. That leads us to number 3, empower. The roles of engagement and motivation are to promote employee work efforts and empower successful employee work effort. Research shows that when employees feel empowered within the workplace, there is an association with increased job performance, job satisfaction, and further commitment to the organization. Okay, this leads us to the last one, number 4, address. Handle the rotten apples by addressing the low performers, the bullies, the instigators, the gossipers, the nosy people. A department is only as strong as the weakest team member. Employees failing to meet expectations can deplete morale faster than a jackrabbit. Immediate and consistent action must be taken to handle non-performers, because non-performers affect the cohesiveness and the efficiency of a department and the organization. I'll never forget, I worked with a colleague some years back, and her nickname was TBD, to be determined, because you never knew what you were going to get from her. She would have conference calls in the Starbucks line. She would conduct conference calls, shopping for furniture. You never knew what you were going to get from her, good, bad. For about a year, our manager did nothing about it. The only thing he did was complain about her to others. He complained about her to her employees, and wrong. So it's the manager's job to hold each employee accountable and responsible to their performance. Now, this manager lost some great employees by not addressing the problem. Progress checks can help management with those low performers, and then disciplinary actions should be taken for the non-performers. A leader's emotional intelligence and communication have a big influence on employee morale. If a leader is not the immediate result of low employee morale within the workplace, it is their responsibility to address and repair the situation. And if they don't know how, they need to bring in those people that will help them deal with the situation. Organizations have the possibility of reduced time spent on morale building and motivation if they effectively seek to engage, empathize, empower, and address employees in setting goals and formulating strategies for reaching those goals for consistency. To reiterate, what to do about low employee morale? Engage, empathize, empower, and address. So hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, I have provided you some information to help you along the way, help you deal with whatever situation you're in as it pertains to workplace bullying. Our time is up, but I'd love for us to stay connected by you subscribing. Subscribing will allow for the provision of notification of new content on a weekly basis. Stay tuned. We have another live YouTube podcast coming up. And I want to give you some information. The live YouTube podcast will include a guest speaker that will be able to help us understand what the legal ramifications, the legal options are for us as employees facing workplace bullying. So you want to stay tuned in the next couple of weeks. Thank you for tuning in and have a great work week.